I need Loren to open his heart.
Is that true? Have you ever had that thought? I need my partner to open his heart. Okay, so go there as though it were your work, because guess what it is? If you feel stress, this is an opportunity to look at it. You need him to open his heart. Is that true?
I don't know that that's true.
How do you react when you think that thought and he does not open his heart? He's not going there.
Well, I close my heart. I get upset and I feel like this is wrong to be in this relationship. He's not good for me.
So you begin to emotionally move away from the relationship.
Yes.
And then what do you do? What do you do? Do you put your coffee cup down on the table a little too loudly?
I get like this sad look on my face.
Oh, that's a good one. We love that one.
He hates that.
Yeah. Well, why else would we do it? I mean, after all, don't we want a good relationship? Yeah. Give me a stress-free reason to believe that anyone on this planet should open their heart. Who do you think you are? You should open your heart. That's it. Mine is a little shut down now, but you should open your heart. It's like, my heart will open when yours does, but you do it first. So the whole planet is waiting for someone to do it first. What happened one day was, I just thought, let it begin with me. He should open his heart. Who would you be without that thought?
I think I'd be better able to see who is in front of me.
Yes. Loren should open his heart. Turn it around.
I should open my heart.
Angel, what do you think he would open his heart to at a faster rate? The way you look right now with your heart open? Or the other woman? And when your heart's open like this, do you even care if their heart's open? You know, it would be, here's what it's like for me. Walking through the house, just waiting for a judgment to come out. From this, from that, my children, my husband, my friends, the telephone. From here, what do I defend against? What could anyone say that would hurt me? I need to look at that. Otherwise, I live as a facade in the world.
I really am getting this, and I can say this time that I look forward to that.
Exciting. There's nothing more exciting. What could you say that would bring me anger? That's the pearl. It's the diamond.
Yeah.
What do I fight? What am I at war with?
I'm always looking at what's wrong with him. Seems to be there's so much wrong with him. That's how I think usually.
Well, you know, stop it. And I know you can do it because that's what you've been expecting of him. Just to stop it. We all would if we could. And any thought I would have that would tear you down as an enemy, I would question, and then it drops and I see you. Any thought that I hold as an obstacle between us, I question it, and then I get really excited to see if it worked. And it works or it doesn't. But in my experience, I go in for the love of truth. That's the thing that cannot be broken. That's what's present.
I am afraid to open my heart to a committed relationship with a man because my heart has so much pain in it from getting hurt.
You know the pain, devastating. You should not do that again. You need to be very careful. Not open your heart to a man, ever. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
I mean all the way open your heart. Let's say that's dangerous. You could get hurt again.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Would it be dangerous No, if I loved completely, it would not be dangerous. I'm terrified.
What else? He says, I love you, I care about you, and it doesn't really matter what he says. You find yourself falling in love.
It's been so long, it's hard to even, I can't even imagine what an open heart feels like.
Here's what happens. It's how we react. It begins to kill him. It
Yes.
begins to tear him to shreds. That's how we keep our heart closed. You know, the ego's job is to kill everything but itself. Until it's questioned, the heart stays closed. We live very carefully and very alone.
Mm-hmm.
Even with someone.
Right.
What images do you see when you think the thought, I better be careful?
I immediately feel no trust. I don't even give it a chance to trust.
We're living what we don't want to happen.
Yeah.
Open mind, open heart. Closed mind, closed heart. Judge someone and believe it, your heart shuts down. You see why meditation works here? You could sit in this a long time. Let's look at the next one.
How do you want to change? I want myself to take the boxing gloves off and remove the U.S. Army from around my heart so I can give him a chance and myself a chance. I want myself to take the boxing gloves off.
Is that true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know that it's true that you want to take off the boxing gloves?
I feel a conflict in my head and my heart. It's like my thoughts say yes and my heart is still closed for business.
So it's not an honest yes. Sweetheart, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to look at your life just the way you've lived it. Not open to dating. Turn it around.
I am open to dating.
So give me examples of why that would be fabulous.
Because I would learn more about myself.
And what you want.
Yeah.
It's not about what he wants. That's just a bonus.
Yes.
To touch him, to love him. And when you love them, they can leave you too. It's okay. They come, they go, they even die. Always know that when you're turned off or you're angry, you're believing something about them that is going to give you within yourself, if you do the work with it, everything you've ever wanted. Because ultimately, you're the one you're dating.
Right. I feel that. I feel that now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a conversation. Ask me out. I'll be you, and you be this really wonderful man.
Okay.
Okay. That's crazy about me.
What's up, girl?
So far, he's perfect.
You think I could get your number and take you out?
Well, where would you like to go?
I'd like to take you out to dinner.
That sounds fabulous. Yeah, I'd love to give you my number. So far, the worst can happen is I get a really great meal. This is about me. But if I projected he's gonna hurt me, he only wants sex,
Yes.
he doesn't really care about me, all that stuff, I miss the meal.
I get it.
Got it?
Got it.
They invite you to a movie, which one?
Right.
They want to take you for a ride, do you like the car?
Oh my God, yes, because I was projecting all those things.
So ask me out again.
You're looking good.
Yeah, you know, I feel the same way about me lately. You know, I do, you know, and I don't know much about my body, but you know, my heart is huge. I just feel fabulous.
What are you doing after the club?
Well, why do you ask?
I thought maybe you'd like to come home with me.
Wow, do you want to have sex with me?
Yes.
I'll consider it.
God, it's
Do you have a number?
I love your number.
Great. We exchange numbers, and I call him or I don't. This is about me.
So wonderful, because I was putting it all about them.
0.
Oh, it's about me.
Yeah.
I have power!
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to date.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing more painful than our heart when it's shut down. And it's so simple to find those pieces of us through inquiry that would shut down our heart toward any human being.
A thought like, "You should love me," just brings laughter to your heart. Can you hear the arrogance of that thought? I don't care whom you want to love. You should love me, and I'll even trick you into it. It's the opposite of love. If I think that my husband should love me, I'm insane. Whose business is it whom he loves? His, of course. It's not his job to love me. It's mine.
Then what is marriage?
Marriage with the self. That's the ultimate marriage. There's no one else to marry but you. And then whoever the world says you're married to, like the marriage certificate, that's just a bonus. And they'll give you what's left just in case you don't totally love yourself.
So you choose to be in a marriage in order to learn more about self-love.
That's how it works. If he is dishonest, he can afford it maybe. I can't. Where am I dishonest? That's my freedom. And, people who are dishonest, if we're not deluded, in other words, we're coming out of a clear head, when people are dishonest, it's a blessing because they show us clearly in the very beginning who not to do business with. That's an asset. That's helpful. I invite people to use a very, very simple process that anyone can do if they're open to it. Anyone, children, old people. It's a very simple process, 4 questions and a turnaround. And I invite them to observe their stressful thoughts. The stressful thoughts, that's what leads to violence. Internal violence and violence within our families and our communities and nations. So if we can't end the war within our own self or within our own families, how can we expect our politicians or governments to stop fighting? Till we end it in ourselves, it's not going to end in the world. One morning as I lay sleeping on the floor because my self-esteem was so low, I didn't believe I even deserved a bed to sleep in, and I opened my eyes, and in place of all of that self-hatred and the war with the self and the terrible world that we live when we're so depressed and so paranoid, in place of all that darkness was a joy and a peace that I cannot describe. But the important thing that came out of it is that when we believe our thoughts, we suffer. And when we question our thoughts, we don't suffer. And I have come to see that this is true for every human being, that we're innocent. As long as we believe our stressful thoughts, we live out of those beliefs, and then we wonder why we feel so crazy sometimes.
I was about 12 and it was summer and I had my shirt off and some friends made some comments about how I looked.
How do you react when you believe that thought? They say you're unattractive and boom. How do you react? What happened?
Feel that I don't want anybody to see me.
Your whole life is altered. Go back to that little 12-year-old before they said what they said, before you believed it. Who would you be without the thought, I'm unattractive? Who are you?
Someone that hadn't thought about it before.
Perfectly okay with your beautiful self.
Yeah.
So what happened was you became a believer and your life just became a shame. That's how powerful a belief is. Would you rather us love you for your body?
But I would go for being and not the body. Only just.
So this is good. You think if you have this beautiful body, this attractive body, that you're going to get what you want. I learned that personalities don't love, they want something. And that is the physical world. A mind that is so identified that it can't get out of it. It's seeking security, comfort, pleasure. I'm a cup, I'm quiet, I'm minding my own business. Hot, scald me, I did nothing to deserve that. You are sick, you are perverted. If you were a cup like me, you'd understand how to treat me. You don't love me, you don't care about my feelings. And it's because I look different, definitely too round. Got a handle, all the lines going in me. It's not fair. It should be like this one. But no. Mind identified as a cup. That's what it goes through. There's my business, your business, and God's business. That would be the God of your understanding. So if my daughter is in California and I'm here in New York City and she's in California running her life and I am standing here talking to you, but mentally I'm in California running her life. Okay, I mean, somebody's got to do it. She's not doing a good job at it. I mean, you just can't rest with a daughter like that. Okay, so there are two of us in California and there's no one here for me. And so I'm sleepwalking. If you ever experience yourself as being lonely, just ask yourself mentally, whose business are you in? Some of you may notice that you have never been in your business. There hasn't been a moment that you can identify where you have not been running the business of the world, which leaves you out.
My mom shouldn't be negative.
Is that true?
No, she can be what she wants to be. No, and that's my perception of what she's...
So give me an example of where she's negative.
Here we go. I suggested that she... Okay.
But only for her own good, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was. Darn. Okay, I'll admit it. I suggested that it would be great for her to go to the Senior Citizens Center and make new friends.
And she said to you...
She said to, well, mind my own business.
She was being negative. Is that true?
No. I don't know. All sounds so absurd. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like you're asking her for an entire lifestyle change, and she's simply asking you to mind your own business.
Yes.
Yeah. So she doesn't listen. Is that true? Can you absolutely know that it's true that she's not listening?
No.
You know, that's amazing. It's like we even dictate to ourselves what people are hearing. It's like there's no end to what we know about them that they haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a big ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they are who we believe them to be rather than who they are. And we don't bother asking them. They are just who we believe them to be. That's why I say no two people have ever met. Yeah. So your mother doesn't listen. What happens? How do you react when you believe that thought? You're talking to her and you think the thought and believe she doesn't listen.
I get upset inside. I get angry and anxious. I get, as I said, frustrated with her.
And then how do you treat you and her when you experience this kind of frustration and anger?
How do I treat her? I treat
And
her
yourself.
and myself disrespectfully.
So close your eyes. What's your life with her? Who would you be without the thought she doesn't listen? You see it?
Yes. She's a lovely woman. I mean, I would, I would enjoy her. I would enjoy myself so much more. I would enjoy the company, the time that we spend, versus putting myself in a position of
Needing to be heard.
yes.
So she doesn't listen, turn it around. She doesn't listen to me, turn it around.
I don't listen to her. I don't listen to her. I thought I listened to her.
So when you say, Mom, you're not listening, and she says, I am listening, are you listening?
No, because I want to be right. Because the anxiousness gets there, and then I start moving real quickly, so it doesn't matter what she says.
Yeah, so you're not listening.
No.
So let's try that turnaround. She's not listening to me, turn it around.
I'm not listening to me.
Yeah. So if my mother's not listening to me and I'm talking to her, am I listening to me? You know
Yes.
when you have something important to say and you think they're just not listening? You say it over and over and over, and it's like, do you ever hear it? If it's so valuable, one of you have it.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to notice first, understand it.
I need Mom to really see me, embrace her being, make new friends, get a hobby, adopt a dog. You told me to come from my head. It's like, the heart would have been different. This is what the head is saying.
You need your mother to,
Oh, I need my mother to really see me.
you need your mother to, your mother doesn't really see you. Is that true?
No, absolutely not.
She really sees you.
Yes,
You
she
want
does.
her to just shift totally out of her life and so let's turn it around.
I need me to really see me. I need me to embrace my being, make new friends, get a hobby, and adopt a dog.
So let's turn around. I don't need my mother.
I do not need my mother to really see me. I don't need her to really embrace her being, make new friends, get a hobby. Okay. And I do not need her to adopt a dog. I want her to. I don't need her to.
Which one?
I would love for her to adopt a dog.
Okay. And and if she adopted the dog, what would that give you?
That would make me happy knowing that she had
A
another
dog she
outlet.
doesn't want.
Byron Katie's The Work consists of 4 questions and a turnaround. Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? What happens when you believe that thought? Who would you be without the thought? Turn it around. At thework.com, a worksheet can be found to help guide you to explore these questions for yourself. Investigate your stressful thoughts. Is it true?
Allow a simple yes or no only as a response, and notice how your mind wants to no but, yes but, no because, and it wants to give you all of the reasons, and those reasons are about not having to experience the simple truth, the one within your heart. It could take you a moment, it could take you an hour.
Can you absolutely know that it's true? You attach a story to what you perceive, and that story is your suffering. Who would you be without your story?
I am terrified of getting old. I'm afraid that I won't be able to support myself. I have tremendous health concerns now that I didn't have before.
Justification, defense. Defense is the first act of war, even the war with the self. How do you react? What happens when you think that thought? I'm not going to a nursing home. And you're about to be single. And you're getting older, in your opinion. Well, let's say you're in one now. How do you react? What happens internally when you think the thought, I'm not going to a nursing home, and you're getting out of the car, they're walking you through the lobby?
I'm sure I would feel terrified. Feel like I had completely lost my life as I know it, lost my independence, lost my home, my pets, lost my ability to make choices for my own life.
Okay, now I invite you to close your eyes, and anyone else afraid of going to a nursing home. Now, imagine your children are walking you into the lobby, checking you in, and the smell. Okay, look around. Look around, okay? Who would you be without your story? Notice, look at the people there.
I'd be a lot more relaxed and a lot less worried and feel much more of a sense of peace.
It's what you're believing about the world that is the problem, not the world. What did you see without the thought? Did you see yourself living the same life, only comfortably? Exactly the same life. It's like you're living your life with the thought uncomfortable, without the thought comfortable. An appreciation. Thoughts happen, they come through, and then we place a lot of power on those thoughts, and we become stressed out or frustrated. And when that happens, that's the point where I invite people to question what they're believing. Because until they do, every time that thought enters, or a thought like it, stress is going to reoccur. And we live our lives out of what we believe and our feelings. And then we react out of that. So until we question our mind, as long as we believe what we think, our lives are lived out of what we believe. It's the true story of a woman whose husband left her to live with the next door neighbor. So every day this woman watches him come home, fall into this other woman's arms. She watches them sit out on the porch together, hold hands, and her life is miserable. She's full of rage. She's neglecting her children, neglecting her life. Her addictions are kicking in. And then she found the question, these 4 questions. And the first one, or I'd say the first 2, is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? And the thought that was bringing her so much misery is, I want my husband to come back to me. And when she hit that second question, can I absolutely know that it's true? I want him to come back to me. Her mind opened. And what happened in that open-mindedness whole other options, whole other truths came to her. What she found was, just for a moment there, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I want him to come back. And then she hit the third question: how do I react when I think that thought? And that was clear to her. She was miserable. Her addictions had kicked in. Her children were being neglected. Her home was being neglected. And then the fourth thought: who would I be without the thought? Who would I be without the thought, I want him to come home to me? And it hit her like a ton of bricks, that it was the thought she had been walking around with causing the stress, not her husband. In fact, her husband wasn't even there to upset her. Her thought, I want him to come home. So you can see, Jordan, she was arguing with reality. And if I argue with reality, I lose, but only 100% of the time. And then she, of course, turned the thought around, and I want him to come home to me. And she flipped the thought, I want me to come home to me. It changed her life. And she began taking care of herself, her children, her home, her life. Her awareness had shifted to the point where she saw that it was a favor that life had brought her. It was a gift, in fact, and that's how I see life. Anyone that questions their mind comes to see that it's not what we want in life, it's what we have that we want. And that's true of every moment, and it's true of every human being. And until we can see that, our work's not done. We're simply believing what we think, and that is very, very painful. You know, confusion is the only suffering on this planet. This planet's a wonderful place. What we believe about the planet, now that's not so wonderful. That's the only hell we suffer.
I made a values book, and I went to great lengths to just make this perfect, and had a color and described what it was, and why it was important to me, and what it meant to me. And I went and I showed it to her, and she looked at me and said, these are wrong. Your values should be this, this, and this. And I thought, wait a minute, this is my values book. It's not yours. So that's a specific example.
So how did she manipulate you?
Well, she was trying to change.
Is that true? She was giving you her opinion. You took it to her. What do you want? You want her to lie? When she told the truth, her truth, not yours, did you try to change her values? And say, no, this is the way. And it's a beautiful thing about mothers. Just in case you think you have it wired, we know that last button to push. So let's turn it around.
I am selfish.
Especially around your mother. She can't even have her own values. If they don't match yours, you become angry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Duplicitous, irresponsible, controlling, and manipulative.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, we're working on it. Because if you think that she is controlling you in any way, you are insane in the moment. And the anger you feel around that is the clue that you have a problem, not your mother. This work is about 100% responsibility. How has she ever controlled you?
That's true. I guess I've always made my own actions and choices.
Yeah, drop the part where you say, I guess.
I have.
Yeah. What's an example of how she manipulates you?
She says that she understands, but then she basically just repeats what she thinks that I said that she thought that I said. Does that make any sense?
Totally.
Okay.
She understands what she thinks she understands.
Exactly. And
so people are supposed to understand you. Is it true? It's not possible. We hear what you say, but we don't hear what you mean. We put our story on what we think you say, and that's what we hear. Mm-hmm. And then we go off and tell people the story you told, and it's not even close.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's her job.
Okay.
How do you treat her when you think, I want her to understand, and she doesn't?
Well, then I just decide, what's the use? And so I just don't talk to her.
And how does it feel not to talk to your mother?
It hurts.
Can you see a reason to drop the story? I want her understanding.
Yes.
Can you see a reason that is not stressful to keep the story? I want her understanding.
No.
Who would you be without the story, living with your mother?
I would be so happy.
She could say anything about you, and you go, well, she understands what she understands.
That's her job.
That's her job. So I want her understanding. Turn it around.
I want my understanding.
Yeah. Yours is the one that counts. Hers can never give you what you want. Hers can give you a Band-Aid, so you're propped up and think you're right. But your understanding, that's the one. Well, sweetheart, let's turn this whole thing around.
Okay. I am angry at myself because I'm selfish, controlling, and manipulative.
Yes, especially toward your mother. She cannot even have her own understanding. And look how you try to control her by giving her the silent treatment. How manipulating. And when that doesn't work, how do you talk to her? Let's look at number 2.
I want my mother to respect my values, beliefs, and standards, and love and understand me for who I am and not try to change me.
She's supposed to respect your values. Is that true? Where did you ever hear such a thing? What storybook did you hear that from? Mothers are supposed to respect their daughters' values. Can you really know that that's true?
No.
That's a myth. We tell the story of you and we respect it. We tell the story of you and we don't respect it. But none of it has anything to do with you. You are our story. And if you don't do it our way, we don't respect it. You know, because you're messing with our story. How do you treat her when you attach to this thought? She's supposed to, I want her to respect my values. And she doesn't.
I just get bitter and same thing, silent treatment, or if it really provokes me, I'll get upset with her.
And look how you talk to her. Look how you look at her. What does your face do? What does your body do?
It's all negative.
How does that feel?
Awful.
And does it work?
No.
Can you see a reason to drop this story? I want my mother's respect. I want her to respect my values. I'm not asking you to drop the story. My goodness, this is, again, that old-time religion. Mothers should respect their daughters' values. Not on this planet yet. So that's just not the reality of it. So can you see a reason to drop it?
Yes.
Can you see one reason that is not stressful to keep it?
Nope.
Who would you be without this story in the presence of your sweet mother?
A loving daughter.
Turn it around.
I want to respect my own values, standards, beliefs, and love and understand me for who I am and not try to change me.
Yes, 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 yes. It's not our job. It's yours. If they're such wonderful values, you respect them.
Okay.
There's another turnaround.
I want to respect my mother's values,
Yes.
standards, and beliefs. That's a tough one.
Well, that's what she says. I like the part where she's supposed to be able to and you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
So do it that way, honey, and just experience it all the way through. Yes, it's a tough job. So go ahead and read it that way.
I want to respect my mother's values, standards, beliefs, and love and understand her for who she is and not try to change her.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very powerful. You see, Angel, mothers don't know how, do you? You've heard the expression, a child will lead us. Could be so. So where did you learn these thoughts?
I don't know. It's just the same.
Yeah, they're not even yours.
Mm-hmm. It basically destroys our relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't investigated. You know, you just took for granted that they were all true. Mm-hmm. So, can you see reason to drop this story? And I'm not asking you to drop it. Who would you be without these mossy old dinosaur concepts?
I'd be a happy person that was just focused on respecting and loving myself, and I'd be free to love my mother too.
That's my experience. It's very good. It's the end of war. And one way to begin is to take this home and read the reversals to your mother. Mother, I've been looking at you all my life, and today I begin to look at me, and here's what I found. That I manipulate you, that I don't respect you, and I'm learning how. Yeah,
I'm
so
trying.
be patient with me. Yes, I'm trying. It's a whole new field.
Yeah.
There's nothing like presence. It's very exciting. And the way you treat her is the way you'll treat your husband and your children. And that's the way they'll treat theirs and theirs. You are quite an incredible young woman. It's a privilege to sit here with you.
Thank you.
And you. So I look forward to?
I look forward to being controlled, deceived, and manipulated again.
Good.
I am angry, upset, saddened at Lillian, my sister, because she is irresponsible and may not be able to take care of herself as she ages like that.
Yes. So that's not what you're afraid of. What are you afraid of?
That I'm going to end up having to take care of her.
Yes. Let's say she's totally incapacitated. There's no one else to do it. You have to take care of her. Is that true?
No.
Okay, so feel it. That was pretty courageous. How uncaring, how unloving, how cold of you.
Yeah, what a real jerk I am.
Yeah. How do you react when you think that thought? I have to take care of her. Where do you feel those thoughts?
Most solar plexus, my gut.
When you think these thoughts, does your heart speed up? You imagine your blood pressure goes up? The stress?
Yeah, it would be stressful, I think. There'd be no choice. I would have to do this, and I would do it. Because
Okay,
one
so
does not let one's sister die in the street or that kind of thing.
So, yeah, that's a big guilt trip.
Yeah, so I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm already guilty. Yeah.
So I need to take care of her. I have to take care of her. Does that thought bring peace or stress into your life?
It brings stress.
Who would you be when she's sick and they're calling without the thought, I have to take care of her?
I would be me, fairly happy kind of person. Got plenty.
Yeah.
My life is not stressful otherwise, particularly.
So I have to take care of her, turn it around.
I don't have to take care of her. And
Isn't that as true or truer?
it's as true.
So just experience it. Here's the point of this. No one has to do anything. And we notice that we do it from a whole other position. When we know we don't have to, we're free to do it or not. And we get to see a very loving human being, not someone guilt-ridden doing it that resents it. But to believe that I have to do it is a lie. I don't have to. I do it because to give to her is my heart's desire. It feels right. I love her. And from that position, it's when the doctor calls and says we need more money, you're open to discuss it rather than, oh God, not more money. All this painful, I have to.
Yeah, she certainly has her own life, and she's...
And there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
So turned around again.
I need myself to always take care of myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one. And the way you take care of yourself sometimes is to help your sister. And sometimes it's not.
Not to help her.
Yeah.
She's actually way more adventurous than I, and that's, I want her to live her life, and she does.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful what's unfolding. We're hearing what you really want.
Yeah, I really want her to live her life. She lives in places I just, I don't know that they're very much fun, but it's adventure of a major sort and lots of courage. And here's a person who I didn't think was capable of handling her life. Well, are you kidding me? She's way more capable than I am, and oh, she could have to take care of me. I hadn't thought of that one yet. Okay.
So take care of yourself. Do not squander your money. Be very careful with it, very frugal, for her sake.
I think that makes sense, yeah. I'll go along with that. Turnabout is fair play. Yeah, that's completely fair play.
Yeah, and turn around for your sake. You really love her, don't you?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm irresponsible.
Yes, when you mentally go into her life. We have her on our doorstep. We have her sick. We have her.
No, don't think those thoughts. Well, guess what? I'm thinking those thoughts.
Yes, that's what we're thinking. It's wonderful to explore. There just doesn't seem to be any harm in it. They're there. Let's question them. Thank you.
Thank you.
To question what we're believing is the end of everything other than what is true, what is real, and what can be dealt with right here, right now.
Oh my gosh, what don't I fear about the future? I fear...
So just isolate one.
Okay. I fear suffering in the future.
So in the future you're going to suffer. Is that true? Can you absolutely know that it's true?
I don't know if it's true, no.
So what happens when you think that thought?
I get scared now and unhappy and
So close your eyes, and what images do you see when you think the thought, I'm going to suffer?
I see, a bag lady on the street. I mean, I have all these
Now
images.
feel that.
Okay.
You see, that's how you see yourself. And then it goes into, if I don't do this, that'll happen. I better do this, or that'll happen. I better get married, or that'll happen. I better get a good job, or that'll happen. I better go to school, or look, that's how you react when you believe the thought. Okay, and you get to see it all as images, and then you live it out. That's what's driving you. Fear is driving you. So who would you be without the thought? In the future, I'm going to suffer, or I'm going to suffer. In my old age, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer, period. Who would you be without that thought?
I'd be someone who isn't suffering right now.
Well, that's a little less suffering in the world.
It's a little less suffering in the world.
And this moment is all there is, and I can promise you that. It's all there ever will be. You're standing in your future. Remember when you were worried that in the future you would suffer?
Yes.
Well, here it is. How you doing?
This doesn't qualify as real suffering to me.
No, and it never will in the moment now. It just won't in the moment now. And if it appears that you're suffering, put it on paper. That's where, all war belongs on paper. All suffering belongs on paper.
Write down all the things that I'm believing about the future and then question them. Are they true? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what you just did. How you doing? I mean, you're living your future right now. You were wrong.
How long will that future take to manifest? I don't know.
Well, sweetheart, it never changes. This is the only moment you have to take care of yourself. This is the only moment there is. And everything else is imagination. You're imagining you as a bag lady out there, and as you stand here, just fine in reality.
Find the reality right now.
Yeah, doing very well in reality.
Very well. When you listen to someone else doing the work, you think, why don't they get it? And I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm trying to get this.
Get what?
Get it. I mean,
are you okay in this moment?
I am okay in
you
this
got
moment.
it.
But the next moment, I'm already thinking, well, what about if that happens?
Well,
that moment is already took up with that
well,
fear.
what if that happened?
What if that happened?
What do you think would happen?
Ooh, yuck, bad. I mean, I'm afraid I would really be tense and unhappy and cold.
You mean like you are
suffering.
now?
Yeah, right this second.
Yeah, well, you're not, you're projecting your misery now as your future.
Right.
So just take care of now. In the future, I'm going to suffer. Oh, that was now.
Right.
Yeah. No one's ever going to like me if I... Ooh. gosh, I'm not liking me very much right now.
So the only suffering in the future that's possible is that what I allow to happen in the moment.
Remember what you just said?
Just that last second?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so it's over. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, isn't the past kind? It's always over.
Yeah. The past doesn't...
Isn't the future fabulous? Here it is.
Frank should be more understanding.
Is that true? Frank should be understanding. Think of the person in your life that you can relate this to. That person should be more understanding. Can you absolutely know that that's true? Again, who needs God when you have your opinion? You know, we're like dictators in our minds. You should be more understanding, and you need to this, and you need to that, and I need to this. And we're dictating the world. There's no presence in it. So how do you react when you believe this thought and he does not understand your behavior when you're angry?
I get pain in my body, like physical pain in my heart and my whole being.
Yes, that's what happens when we believe our thoughts. That's what happens when we begin to, from our heads, control the world. You know, that's how we create the world. He should be more understanding, and we're creating this world that is not happening right now. We're trying to make it into this imaginary utopia, and all the time, we're not being understanding. We're not applying it to ourselves.
It's true. I haven't been understanding where his situation is and what's been going on with him.
Very good. Very good. So who would you be without the thought, Frank should be more understanding? Imagine your lives without that thought. Who would you be without that thought? I don't ever expect anyone to understand me. Even when they do, what do I have? Turn that thought around.
I should be more understanding.
Yes. Of you and Frank. Yeah, understand yourself and be gentle when you find yourself reacting and you're angry. You know, to just notice and show a little mercy for that dear one that you call you. I invite you to contemplate and notice how the mind wants to answer so quickly out of the old world, out of what you've been taught and told, what you're believing, and to just be still and drop under that and see what's there. Again, to drop into your heart, to drop into your soul, and to notice, what do you find there? Is it possible? Is it possible you've missed something?